right, we ready?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh!
Woof.
Hey everybody! That's right, welcome back to Late to the Murder Party. And of course, we are continuing with the Fall of the Hunt. So, we've seen the saga of Alien. We've seen the saga of Predator. Trilogy at this point, if I believe. Yeah, because Predators...
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've, look, I think we can all agree. We've enjoyed and then dealt with AVP. Well, this is 2012 now, correct? At this point?
Yep.
Yep.
Why don't we go back and tell the story? Let's try and tell the origin. Let's retcon.
It's time for timeline shenanigans.
Yeah, if I don't sound happy, it's because I'm not. So, yeah. Time.
Intros.
Intros, yes. It's time for us to look at Prometheus. And with me to deal with this shit is the lovely Xeiren.
Hello.
The equally as lovely Graveturtle.
Hello.
The Belgian in wolf's clothing, Varren Gimbold.
There's no bloody way I'm 3 months pregnant. Well, Doc, it's not exactly a traditional fetus.
Jesus fuck. My good friend Pass Remote.
Wait, I thought we were going to be watching some Prometheus and Bob shorts.
You're not so lucky.
I know.
The awesome Wolfman Roy.
We're covering Prometheus? I
Yeah.
covered Alien Origin. Why didn't you tell me this?
Oh my god.
You know what amazes me is just that you have something to rebut with, to make as a rebuttal. I'm like, oh, I have a counter to this every time. It's amazing.
I mean, funny enough, Alien Origin was one of the screenplays before it became Prometheus.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, we will unpack that later. And last but not least, the chaotic Doc himself.
What was that black goo? Obviously, it was from the X-Files, duh.
Black oil? Come on now.
Via my
Yeah,
brother
yeah.
Dingle.
Do. Alright.
Ah,
You're so fucking-
yeah, 2012's Prometheus. God damn it, Ridley Scott.
So
I'm glad I watched this when I first watched this in theater. It was a double feature. I'm glad this is the first one of the double feature because I probably would have been very upset if it was the second part. The second part of the double feature was Looper.
Oh.
Oh, okay.
I was
Interesting
supposed
double
to see that
feature,
with,
to say the least.
Well, I was gonna see it with a friend, but my friend didn't show up on time, so he missed Prometheus, so I had to watch that by myself. Oh well.
Woof.
Mm-hmm.
I see.
So, I would like to tell my story about Prometheus because I feel it sets up the general problems
Okay.
that we're all going to discuss with Prometheus. Because, unfortunately, dear audience, this is one of those movies where it's just like, what the fuck did I just watch?
Do we want to?
In a lot of ways.
Mm-hmm.
So, I got introduced to the Alien franchise later in life. I did not experience it growing up because, of course, hey, Late to the Murder Party. There's a reason it's titled that way.
Yeah.
And so I watched Alien at home, and then I watched Aliens at home. And I was just sitting around on my computer one day, and YouTube suggests that I watch the trailer for this new movie coming out called Prometheus. And I'm like, oh, okay, this looks like it has, you know, certain alien vibes. Okay, this thing looks like it's heavily inspired. All right. I was not good at keeping track of like directors and producers and studios at this point. I was in baby reviewer mode. I had no idea what I was doing. And so I convinced my date to go see this with me, because I'm like, hey, you're the one who introduced me to alien movies. I think this is right up your alley. Pass is having a seizure.
Apparently.
It's like it's phasing into me first. And I was like, nah, no. Don't get goo together now.
No.
We're not reviewing Society yet.
And here's the crazy part. Like, we go, and I'm like, okay, this has got atmosphere. I like the characters so far.
Mm-hmm.
It's definitely heavily inspired. I did not realize it was a prequel until the stinger at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The fact that this was created and directed by Ridley Scott just boggles my mind, because it shouldn't have taken that long for me to click. Like it literally happened with the stinger at the end. And in the theater I shout, "Wait, this is a fucking alien movie?" And everybody laughed. Because it's like, it makes sense and yet it doesn't make sense. That's the problem. The fact that I could watch Alien and Aliens and watch the entirety of Prometheus and only realize it was a prequel at the end of the film means you failed.
Yeah.
Did I enjoy my time watching it? Absolutely. I had fun at the theater, but it just fails as part of a franchise.
Yeah. That's
The
why
fact
I-
there's. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I'll keep mine short and sweet, and you can go on because you know more than me. But that is the major problem with this, is that it's one of those movies that is alien in name only. Because if you took out that stinger at the end, would this reek of alien to you at all?
Yes.
Yeah.
Still in ways, yes, because
Yes.
it's very much still in the same universe. There's a lot of those recognizable things, at least when it comes to, you
I
know.
don't know.
Hey, do you
You
remember
have
the
the-
scene in the funeral parlor in Godfather? That's how I feel about it when I see look how they massacred my space jockey.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. That's the thing. I recognized from the onset that, at the very least, the person who made this film was a huge fan of Alien. It just doesn't feel like Alien.
No,
It feels inspired by, not a part of the greater whole.
the feel is definitely way different, which was also, you know, by design after they went through so many fucking screenplays. I mean, during like the first bits of the screenplay, there were actually way more references to Alien. Hell, at one point the movie was going to be set on LV-426 until they moved it to 223 instead.
Mm-hmm.
And all that. But it was actually funny enough, it was the studio who said, like, nah, take some more of the alien out stuff out and focus more on the engineers instead. Now, granted, they did set out to make a movie that was going to be way more focused on the space jockeys, or as we're now going to be knowing them as the engineers, which that's Ridley wanted to really explore that after, at least in his own words, a lot of the other stuff from the alien stuff was already explored to all hell. So he was like, let's go back to the beginning. Let's see where these guys came from. What was their purpose? Why was this ship here? What is the purpose of the ship and all that? At least that was how it's, you know, set out to be.
You know, I'm just imagining an interview with Ridley Scott where somebody just sits down with him and says, "So, you Ridley Scott, you really were definitely inspired by Alien when you made this film. What do you think of the director of that?"
Ridley then punches you and leaves.
You know what? You know what?
Gets
Had I
out,
been-
lights a cigar, and is like, "Oh, fuck this noise."
Could you imagine it if that had been my poor ass interviewing him? He's like, oh yeah, I've become familiar with this franchise very
What the fuck?
recently.
What the hell?
How did a xenomorph get in here?
Giggity.
I can't. My mouth won't move. I have lockjaw.
Okay, that.
That's what
Okay,
good.
pass.
This is what
Pass.
happens to it.
Usually when you pull these shenanigans, I get to wince a bit annoyed. But considering what we're talking about, this was a big bit of levity. Thank you. I
Oh
did not
my
know you
God.
had that in your back pocket.
That just
Oh my
made all
God.
of this worth it.
Surprise xenomorph type thing, which is exactly what happens at the end of this movie.
Yeah.
I know.
What
It was
happened
me.
to my tail? My tail.
I think it's kind of stuck in the ceiling. We might need to fix the
Yeah,
roof
it
at this
is.
point.
What the hell?
I think I'm gonna. I think. Did anybody have any like neosporin? I think I'm gonna bleed everywhere.
Okay.
Oh,
Well,
no.
it was nice knowing you, Bear.
Oh god. Death by acid burn. Who could have guessed?
Do 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 do.
Oh, no!
Oh my God!
My queen.
At least the tail got unstuck.
Yeah, but I think
feel
it's
bad
having
for
a
the
seizure.
only listeners who have no idea what the fuck is going on right now.
The audio listeners have no clue what's happening right now.
10 out of
So,
10. Best
I
review.
love that
Best
I
review.
love what you can find. I love what you can find on V-Roid for free.
Oh god, yeah.
And look, I got little arms in front of me. They're little T-Rex arms. They go do 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 do.
Do.
Yeah.
Do.
I'm expecting
You know-
the alien queen to
you
do
know what they are?
right now.
No, you know what they are? They're what? They're for grabbing boobies. That's what they are.
Okay, fair
They're
enough.
just like.
Alright.
So, get the face out of the way.
Get your face out of the
What was I saying before? Ah, yes. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
though, Xeiren, in your
'Cause-
case, would be even funnier because I know, like, he'd try to attack you, you deck him, and be like, why did this asshole just try to attack me?
I mean, fair. I would just shove Ridley Scott down to the ground and just start slapping him and be like, what is wrong with you?
What's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? What's wrong with you?
I'm sure there's a lot of fans that would pay good money to see that happen.
Look, Ridley, I enjoyed cocaine as the next guy, but did you need those 2 8-balls?
Well, don't forget, he actually probably still remembers this. It's not like Stephen King who forgot about Cujo.
True. Oh, God. Yeah,
Okay,
so
I'm dying to know, Grave, what did you think?
I mean, basically the same as you guys. It didn't. It's a good enough. It's an okay sci-fi movie,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
but it doesn't. Well, it doesn't really feel like an alien movie, except in like kind of referencey ways.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like as I said, like you have the Whaling Corporation pre merger with Utani in this. You know, there's a lot of the classifications of the LVs. You still have the androids, synthetics, and such. So like there are elements there, but it was very clearly wanting to do something completely different. I mean, hell, I think even one of the writers, David Lindelof, he at one point, yeah, I know.
God. Lindelof,
I
guy.
I know, but he was also like, well, maybe the sequel is like, completely like, just happening maybe alongside Alien, but you don't see actually anything happening from Alien. It's like, okay, I can kind of see where you're going with, but I don't know. Now,
It's
granted, I still liked what this movie was trying to, because like going into it, I knew this was going to be about the space jockeys, and I was like, okay, I would like to see that explored, but you don't get a whole lot.
No.
You
No.
like the most we get is like, yeah, they are the ones who basically birthed humans, because we're doing the ancient alien shit as well. With this thing, not as bad as
Wait,
some
wait.
people do it, but
I'm not
here it's
saying-
more just like
I'm not
spreading
saying
the
it's
DNA.
aliens.
I'm not saying it's aliens, but it's aliens.
I wish I had tracking on my arms so I could be like aliens.
Aliens.
Oh my
Make the meme
God.
come to life.
it's like these. It feels in the same genre, but not the same franchise.
Right.
Yeah.
Kind of like how, if you have something set in like a cyberpunk setting, you've got
Oh, yeah.
your corporations, you got body modifications and things, and it says I'm in the same genre,
Yeah.
but
I'm even.
from going from like a cyberpunk setting to like movie from movie, their plots all feel very different. They just kind of have the same setting thing going on from, and that's kind of like what this movie feels like. It almost feels like it's just referencing the Alien franchise rather than being a part of it. And if they like cut off a little stinger at the end, it would have just felt like it was in the same genre rather than the actual same universe.
The biggest, I think the biggest problem that I have with that is the changing of the space jockeys. The fact is that if you're in the original Alien, the space jockeys are these giant things. They look like they are out of another universe. Like the idea was that it was based off of one of Giger's paintings, and the subject initially looked like they were growing out of the chair, or were basically part of the chair. Like it was part of the ship. And that's kind of cool. And instead we get basically what happens if you mix the Greys with Dr. Manhattan, and it's like
Yeah, I call them uncolored Dr. Manhattan. That's all they really are.
Granted,
You
though,
big-
at
bigger
least
douchebags?
these wear diapers, so we don't have to see their
You
big
see
swinging,
cock everywhere. They work
Yeah.
there.
You know, I'm not gonna say what I thought they looked like because it's just gonna be upsetting. But
No, say it.
The main
Do it.
reason why they look like somebody put powder on steroids.
Yeah,
I can see it. Yeah.
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 But that's all I will say on that because rants will occur otherwise.
I don't have a
But-
problem with the movie. I just have a problem with the person. That's
Oh,
all.
I know. That's why I'm kiboshing it at that point.
But no, I can
I mean,
absolutely
it's-
see what you're saying. That
we
actually
can
makes
save
sense.
that for another day. But
It-
the
it
reason
is-
I had to know
Yeah, we're
what
talking about
Grave-
aliens, not predators, right now.
God damn it. Okay.
Wow.
Perfect. End of subject. That was perfect.
Yeah.
The reason I had to know specifically what Grave thought was because she was one of the first people I called after I saw Prometheus in the theater to be like, I had the weirdest experience at the movies today.
Yeah. So one of the things is having gone back, because I didn't care for like the movie had some things. It's like, but I was never really caring for it. But then when I went back and watched it a second time, I'm like, I understand what Ridley Scott wanted to do, but I don't know that the execution really matches his ambitions on this. Like, it's
falls
obvious
flat on
the
its
idea.
face.
It's obvious that the idea that he wanted to kind of think of a story of what happens if we meet our makers and they're basically asshole parents.
Yeah.
I mean, there's definitely a lot more parallels with that. if
Also,
Ridley
in
had
the
just
ori-
included some of the extended scenes.
Yeah, like the idea that Jesus was an engineer who got crucified. That is actually supposed to be. That was at.
That was actually supposed to be something.
Yeah,
It
that
was
was
well,
supposed, that was
it was
the
supposed to be.
reason
They
that
took
they wanted to kill us.
they took a human child with them, make them like learn their ways, put them down again, and that was supposed to, like, quote unquote, bring us back to reality, or just like, pacify us. That did not work, and then that was the thing where it's like, okay, well, that did not work. Time to do the reset button.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
But I mean,
It's a very Catholic way
Pass.
of looking at it.
Pass. If you weren't really caring for it, then were you Susan?
Susan.
Ugh, Susan.
Okay, yeah. Let's not talk about Susan because I have to get my Alistair avatar out. Oh, Susan.
It's season.
We're gonna piss off the xenomorph in the room. Okay.
I mean, there is still like.
I get
There
the
was-
idea of the engineers and being God. I like the idea of an engineer just basically drank some expired Kool-Aid and then just that seeded life on it. I thought that was kind of cool. I like the idea.
Yeah, I like that one. Yeah.
And I also got the idea, and in watching it again, I'm like, now I understand why the engineer is so pissed at Waylon at the end. Like, if their
Yeah.
society is all about sacrificing yourself, and this guy's just like, I'm old, give me more life, and they're like, you already made something. Go fuck off. Go put
Yeah,
yourself
'cause
in a robot body.
In that extended scene I was talking about, it was more about because he's trying to like convey, it's like, look, I created life as well in my own image, therefore I am on your pedestal, and therefore I deserve immortality. And then the engineer, like, looks at David and then rips his head off and then smashes Waylon with it, which is still one of the most satisfying things in this entire movie.
It is.
Yes.
I think that the engineer would have been more forgiving if he had been, guys, we found you guys. Hi. Look, we were able to make our own stuff too. Aren't you proud of us? Can you put this on the refrigerator?
Put this on your end table, Daddy.
Just picks up David and just pins him to the fridge.
But,
I made
no,
this
here's-
macaroni art just for you.
Also, the one thing I love is that in some of the extended cuts, you also see that you get the idea. David knew how this was going to end up. He knew how this was going to play out, and both him and Vickers basically want Waylon to die.
Yeah, even
Yeah.
in the regular theatrical version, like, if you
Yeah,
look really closely at a lot of David mannerisms, like, he was like, and some of the things he says especially, it's like he was poised of just like, just letting Waylon die, because especially that line is like, wouldn't you like to see your isn't it the nature of parents just to die? So
Or isn't it
Oh,
the nature for you to want your parents to die?
Yeah,
And-
for a
and-
child to want to see their parents die.
Also,
It's like, what?
got to get big ups to Numi Rapace, who is so good as Dr. Shaw.
Yes.
Like,
yeah,
so, because I'm going, there's going to be a sequel with her in it. Okay, that might be nice.
nope.
Bum, 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 ba-da-da-dun, da-da-da-dun, dun-dun, dun-dun, dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun.
Yeah, actually, real quick, I do want to talk about the cast that we have here.
Yeah.
Yes,
We've
it's a good cast.
Yeah,
It's very good cast.
Numi Rapace is Elizabeth Shaw. You got
Mhm.
Michael Fassbender as David.
He's
Charlize
great.
Theron
He
as
is
Meredith Vickers, which caught me the fuck off guard. I forgot she was in this.
She's great. Oh, she's
Idris
so
Elba
good.
as
Yeah,
Janik.
My favorite character.
I love Idris Elba.
I love him and his
Yeah.
crew. I love him and his
He is
team.
one of the. It's like, yeah, no. There's a bit of a there's a bit of a man crush there. Idris Elba and Tom Hardy. Those are my.
I think we all love Janik because he is the closest thing that this movie gets to an alien movie. To quote Roy, it's because they're the closest thing to space truckers.
Yeah.
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 Also, he's the smartest fucker. He knows. He figures out. Yeah, this isn't where they live. This is you don't make WMDs in your own backyard in
Backyard,
case
no.
something
No.
happens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's just like, no, I'm not signing up for this. we are gonna make sure this shit don't get to Earth.
Honestly, Idris Elba and Fassbender are the ones that really make this for me.
Also, a young Benedict Wong is
You
one
forgot
of
Benedict
one of the
Wong, yeah.
navigators.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh,
It took me
shit.
to-
You're
yeah,
right.
he's the Asian guy.
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
oh, it took me like, wait a minute, I've seen him.
Yeah, it's
Using
Wong.
his natural voice.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's not.
Literally, his two crew members that like help him pilot are the
Yeah.
the dynamic between the three of them is fantastic.
I also love the first bit where he's just putting up a Christmas tree. It's like, it's Christmas. I'm putting up a tree.
Yeah, it's like
I just get
people
it,
need the
it's just a regular-
holidays.
He's just a regular, and I like Idris Elba as an actor. I think he's always very good.
Mm-hmm.
And that mustache. That is a
Yes.
powerful mustache.
Yes, it is.
I am mad because I can't grow a mustache like that, and that makes me very angry.
If you can't be with the one you love, love the one
The
you
one you
have.
with.
We got Guy Pearce as Peter Whalen, who
So much old man makeup.
that old
Bad
man makeup
old man
is
makeup.
bad.
That old man.
Yeah. No.
Which is
I love
which is
R11
which,
with
which is
the
quite the
like
thing.
Ookami.
Which is quite the thing when you realize that it took 5 hours to put that shit on.
Yeah.
So I made a
X-Men
comment when we were talking about it, like while
Yeah.
watching, and I said, "Look, this is not a knock towards him because I fucking love the man. Yeah, James Rolfe did better old man makeup for his fucking for his Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde review."
The way I explained it, and I think why it is that with the close-ups on Wayland's face, there's no real texture. Like
Yeah.
there's trying to be, there's like
Mhm.
wrinkles and things, but they don't look like creases and divots. There's no depth and liver spot. There's no pores. It's just lines on his face.
Yeah.
And it's funny where it's like in the hologram, it kind of looks like you can buy it there.
Mhm.
It's like when Wayland eventually at the end of the movie like shows up and
What a
they get a
twist.
lot more close-ups. It's like, nope, this is off. This is off. This is weird. Nope.
See,
Does not
they-
compute.
First of all-
back up the camera, back
the,
up the
the thing
camera.
about the holograms is it reminds me of Rogue One, where it's like your CGI thing of Grand Moff Tarkin would have worked if it was just a hologram.
Mhm.
So it's hiding behind, but you make him real. No, should have
Yeah.
gotten John Keston, who, if you don't know, played Gen in the game Riven, who kind of looks like fucking.
Peter
Who looks
Cushing.
like Peter Cushing enough and was alive. It could have actually probably done a pretty good
Mhm.
version of him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Mhm.
but yeah, the thing is, like if you look at old man makeup, I think that the gold medal is going to be The Exorcist, at what they did with Max von Sydow.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Because if you look at it, it looks like what Max von Sydow kind of looked when he got older.
Yeah, funny enough, Max von Sydow was also one of the people actually considered to play Peter Wayland.
I would have loved. Here's the thing, I get since you didn't have any showing of him younger. I feel like getting someone like Max would have worked better.
Yeah, but then they
Yeah.
decided to have those scenes of him actually being younger, because like there was actually a few scenes envisioned where you would see actually in his pod, and it would be dreams of him being younger, giving illusions to like that he wants to be immortal forever. And that's when they decided, it's like, yeah, no, we're gonna need someone younger, and then we're just gonna make up them to be old.
I think you honestly would have been better if you had just had someone old and done the digital de-aging. I think it would have actually probably looked better even back
I
then.
would.
He just looks like
Honestly-
the makeup is just bad wrinkles and what looks like dead
Yeah.
skin.
Also, I like
He
Max
looks
von Sydow.
disgusting. It's
I made the joke that it's the yellow guy from Sin City if they gave him jaundice.
But
Jeez.
he had John.
Yeah.
But yeah, Oh, I'm sorry.
Go ahead, Grave.
I wasn't saying anything.
Oop.
Really? Okay.
sorry, I saw your light keep going off, and I'm like, I think she's trying to interject.
No.
Yeah.
My bad.
Discord, everybody.
Sorry.
Discord being Discord.
Yeah.
Discord being Discord.
Yeah.
Rewind.
With a lot of this, we got to be mindful. Make sure everybody can.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because there's fucking 7 of us.
There's 7 of us, and some of us can be vocally more forceful than others, and we got to make sure everybody. We don't want anybody to feel left out. We're doing our best. So.
If I could reach my arm across, I'd head pat you.
And the way the tail's moving, I think he'd like that.
It's just like happy alien queen, just so happy.
Yeah. So,
No, it's just the way the tail's whacking. I just want to pass and be like, "Who's a good alien queen? Who's a good alien?"
it's a
queen?
good girl.
Just want to see the whole thing just like start stomping.
Oh god.
Wow.
So,
At least, as a queen, I can lay eggs. I don't have to turn people into eggs. That's nice.
so the last.
I give you something to hug.
The last of the cast that really means anything at this point. Let's talk about the asshole in the room. Let's talk about Logan Marshall Green. Now, he's not an asshole, I don't think. But man, his
fuck
fucking
Holloway.
character.
Fuck Holloway.
Fuck
Yeah.
Holloway.
Holloway is
Fuck Holloway.
Well, here's the thing. Shaw did.
out of place. He is out of place in this movie.
Here's the thing. The idea is he's a like the first thing he does is he takes off his helmet, and it's like, no. How about you get an air sample, make sure there's no pathogens that could hurt you before you do that.
Right.
But no,
Yeah.
taking it off is the way that so it's to kind of hide that he got infected on purpose.
Well, I think if you're taking your
dumb as
helmet
hell.
off, you're not getting infected, accidentally.
True. Like, so they got these big old plexiglass helmets that are, all the way around. And he's like, oh, it's really clean air. Let's just... He just takes his helmet off. Like, no. Did you not read how War of the Worlds ended?
Yeah, no, the thing about Holloway, I think, is the main problem is that out of all the characters, he acts like the least scientific because his quirk takes over everything. Because even some of the side characters, like who's the geologist, the one that looks like Seamus if he was a meth addict?
Yeah, I don't know, but I love it. I don't want to know anything. I like rocks. And he's like, I want to get out of here.
Yeah, even if he has like some weird quirks about him, he's still a scientist at the end of the day because you see that. With Holloway, he doesn't feel like a scientist. He feels like a douchebag rock climber that accidentally got on the team, and nobody has said anything about it.
He's there
and
because
he's
he's
also-
banging Shaw.
And he's also just an unnecessary dick to David so goddamn much.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Granted,
Like,
David's psychotic, but you don't know that, dude.
Yeah, David's sure, David may come off a little uncanny in places, but at least like most of the crew is like, okay, like just a little standoff towards him, but they're not actively antagonizing the dude.
Wait.
No.
You guys think the environment infected?
No, the idea.
No, that was
is
the excuse that they could
Yeah,
have
that
given
was-
because they didn't know
remember,
about the
I was
light
gonna say,
units.
Yeah.
No, we don't think that is, but the fact is that it's Shaw thinks that's what happened
Okay.
before she knows the truth.
Yeah, I was gonna say, David and Nyquist, they do.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
in the most unsubtle date rape fucking
yeah.
way ever.
However, I truly believe that was more for the audiences than what happened in universe. Sometimes the
probably.
audience does need a much more visual cue.
Hmm.
But yeah,
Yep.
But also, to be honest, Holloway did ask for it because he asked, "Well, to sub the mission, what would you do? Anything?" He's like, "I'd do anything." He's like, "That's to the android." He's like, good enough.
Okay.
There you go."
Here you
It's
go. Drink up.
It's a HAL 2001 thing where it's like, in order to make this mission complete, I must eliminate all factors. That includes human.
Well, Hal also, the thing about Hal was that human error is what caused his psychosis to begin with because he's giving contradictory objectives. he cannot lie to the crew. He's not supposed to withhold anything, but
Mhm.
he needs to keep this stuff secret. And see, a human being is able to understand the contradiction and be able to prioritize things, whereas artificial intelligence that's based more on rules have a little difficulty with that. But I like David. I also like the idea that he bleach blondes his hair. He's basically taken off of Peter O'Toole from Lawrence of Arabia. I really liked it, and I also just love that scene of it hurts. Yes, the trick is not minding it hurts.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I always love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say that if I thought this film had a little more dignity, I would have said, "Hey, pass, maybe don't crinkle so much," but I just don't care. So.
And we've had crinkles, we have model changes, and we have had drag races. At this point,
Yeah.
give a shit about the movie. It speaks all for itself.
Yeah, like, there are some gnarly kills, don't get me wrong, there's some cool effects, but, like...
Oh, the effects are great. Like,
They
nothing to be
reference the
said.
crab walk.
Like nothing to be said about the effects. Like, those are all expertly done by Weta Studio, and they deliberately, Ridley wanted to give everything a lot of tactile feel, and I think they really succeeded at that with all of their costumes and set pieces and such.
Yeah.
Also,
crazy fucking
this is the
C-section.
last movie that H.R. Giger worked on.
Yep.
Mhm.
He,
Which
um,
a lot of his
he
with
was
certain parts, yeah.
he was still a consultant on it because they still harkened back to some of his old designs, but they brought him over, like asked him for his advice and such, because after what happened to Alien Resurrection, this was really kind of an olive branch that was needed.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, the skull on top of the mountain is from
From the
some of his
Jodorowsky
drawings
arts,
of
yeah.
Doom. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Based on the Harkonnen drawings. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah,
based on because he was going to be creating Gidi Prime. Dear God, I wish we lived in a universe where I could see that. That'd be awesome.
There's that, and I think the other big example of that is the way the console and chair look when we get to the engineers.
Mhm.
While it's not super Giger-esque, you can tell that it very much a lot of it had is a lot of it is very organic looking. A lot of things have like waves and ribs and just certain
Yeah.
things.
It's got that biomechanical shit like knee deep in it.
Yes.
I love the biomechanical shit.
Although why the console is activated with a flute, I will never understand.
Oh, because obviously it was made by Willy Wonka, and that's how he calls his Oompa Loompas.
Rachmaninoff. Rachmaninoff.
Will you please take Mr. Whalen down to the trash room so he can pick up his immortality?
Yeah, fucking...
Okay, actually, now I would love to have seen little midget engineers come around and start singing after Whalen's dead.
Jesus
Oompa,
Christ.
loompa, doopa dee doo. Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you.
All right. Yeah, there is one thing that, I know people have torn into and given shit, and that's the one thing I will actually kind of defend, even though, yes, a lot of the people in this film, they are stupid.
Yes.
And they don't really have the excuse. The only one that I give the excuse to is when the two get trapped in the room, and they're like left there sitting there, and the one guy starts trying to interact with what he thinks is like a snake or something. I don't fucking know.
Oh yeah, the sperm looking thing.
Okay. You may want to give him
hemorrhapede.
You may want to give him a break. I do not, because the fact is that thing went up and then unfurled it like a cobra opening its hood. That should have been enough to say, this is I am threatened, please leave me alone.
Mm-hmm.
And
No,
the fact is that should have been, a biologist should know, okay then, you leave him alone. You
Take a
take
fucking
pictures.
run.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And then the other guy definitely not knowing that if you cut the fucking
The
thing, it's gonna
geologist not knowing I give a pass to because he's a geologist.
Yeah.
It's not like the rocks were decided to eat him.
Yeah.
Yet.
Although, that would be an
Although
interesting twist
messed
that-
up fucking effect.
Yeah, but that would have been
dude.
that would have been like a prequel to Fan Four Stick or something.
Yeah, like messed
They were
up.
golems the entire time.
Jesus, messed up fucking scene though. I will admit, like was the was when the acid hits the fucking acid blood hits the
yeah.
fucking glass.
Yeah.
That's a messed up way to go.
Like getting that and then falling face first into the goo. It's like, ugh.
yeah. Yeah, that was pretty messed up.
Also,
Overall,
also
yeah.
Vickers with the flamethrower. Vickers with the flamethrower. Vickers wants the what? You heard me now.
Yeah.
Move.
And then yeah, things get out of hand. Like it's
Mhm.
good God, the shit that happens
To Shaw,
to
yeah.
Shaw. Oh my
Also-
God.
Also, fuck you, CinemaSins, for that whole Prometheus school of running away from things. Because guess what? When you're stressed, you don't always do the right thing. A ship is falling on you. Just run.
Run.
Yeah.
You know, let's don't bring that ass in here.
Yeah.
I think if nothing else, Prometheus kind of illustrates the biggest problems with a lot of Alien sequels post.
Mm-hmm.
Is that there are interesting ideas, little nuggets of things, but
Hmm.
it seems like every time they try to do it, they don't expand on it well enough.
Yeah.
Because with Prometheus especially, you have that idea of the origin of these xenomorphs with engineers and things like that, but there's so many things that could have just been slightly expanded on that could have made this movie a whole lot better than it is.
Mm-hmm.
At the end of
Remember-
all things, it's just kind of there. It's not great, but it's not terrible. It just
Mhm.
kind of is.
If I remember correctly,
the
there's
most-
actually some expansion stuff that happens in some of the comics because there
Mhm.
are Prometheus specific comic series.
Yeah.
Oh, but again, that's the whole thing of
But you
using
shouldn't have to go.
the material to.
Oh no,
make
no,
something
I know,
else
I know,
better.
I get it,
That's all.
I get it. I'm not excusing anything. I'm just you know,
Yeah.
off the top of my head, it's like I think
Right.
there was something like that, but I can't quite remember.
Mm-hmm.
At the end of the day, Prometheus is the most 5 out of 10 movie I've ever seen.
And you know what? I think I'm gonna have to agree with you. I find it has some things that are interesting, some things that I think I was telling like Ookami and all that. There's like things that it kind of made me think of, oh, what would I do if I had to do a movie shot in the alien universe without aliens?
Mm-hmm.
But it is the execution of this, the idea of it, I feel just doesn't work for me. And if you're gonna pose questions and then not answer them, maybe have some things that are more alien in the fact of the engineers should not be humanoids.
Mm-hmm.
Make the questions more interesting if you're not gonna answer.
Make
Yeah.
them elephant people.
Yeah. Hell, if you really wanted that thing to be a helmet, still make them look completely different from what we are. And they're like, oh shit,
Mm-hmm.
you're weird.
Yeah. But yeah, again,
thing
it was,
is, it
it was
feels
the type
like
of story
the
is like, you know,
problem with,
trying to find our maker.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The problem with engineers is that, other than the design, it seems like the design they were going for is that, other than just being gray, kind of grays and buff,
Mm-hmm.
there were little bits that made me think like, were they gonna make them fish people?
They do have gills on their
They do have
on their
gills.
throats.
It's like, if you were gonna think about making them fish people, just go all the way with it. Go full intimate.
Then we could have had Ridley Scott's The Shape of Water.
Good God.
Oh
Okay,
my
you know
god.
what? I would be okay with Numi Rapace fucking a fish.
Okay.
Because she's pretty.
Fair enough.
Yeah,
Those
no,
are words.
At the end of the day,
Will
Those
we
are
still
words
be-
put in order.
at the end of the day, it is the most 5 out of 10 movie
I
I,
mean-
think you'll ever really see.
I mean, we did
Especially in this
kind of
franchise.
got the consequences of Numi Rapace fucking a fish because she did give birth to a squidling from Splatoon.
Oh,
Yeah. I also couldn't resist as soon as like it fucking came out. Actually, the C-section was finished. They got that out. Gnarly scene, by the way. But
Yeah.
like, as soon as that finished, I'm like, congratulations, it's a squid.
Honestly, that scene is probably my favorite
Mm-hmm.
in the whole
It's
movie.
one of the
But-
closest things to it getting super visceral.
Yeah.
And
And it's funny because I just have to note this because now I've heard it twice and I've had a chance to think about it. Most 5 out of 10. For once, ever. Doc and I wholly agree on something.
Yeah, it is.
It must be noted for the history of the podcast.
Yeah, I think we all can unanimously agree. This is a 5 out of 10 at best.
yeah,
Like, this
but
is
yeah,
such a
the
middle
look,
ground.
the abortion scene is definitely great. I love it. Yeah, Wayland Yutani, this very state of the art ship. We don't have any wire hangers around here for you. Sorry, you're gonna have to just program a machine decide for dudes.
They give you a C-section, basically.
Yeah.
And again, yeah, Waylon being on there, that was supposed to be a twist, but good God, do they fucking foreshadow the shit out of it.
Well,
Yep.
here's the thing, though. I don't mind the foreshadowing because it's like, wait, I felt it was good foreshadowing.
Mhm.
The idea that, yeah, the pod is only designed for a dude, which is so dumb. Just why don't you have it programmed for both?
Both, yeah.
Because Waylon is that thing that he doesn't even. Because think about it. What if Vickers needed an emergency procedure? Because she's a woman.
She
Mhm.
shit out of luck, because fuck you, you don't
Yeah,
have a
because Wayland is an egotistical asshole.
Yeah.
And on that assessment,
Yeah.
Oh, also,
Hmm.
stapling your C-section shut. Wow, that was.
Without drugs, too. You gotta give him props. Without drugs.
Yeah.
I know it reminds me of when Judge Dredd stapled his wound shut in Dredd.
yeah.
Same year, but yeah, it's like oof.
Yeah. On that badass note, we should
Mhm.
probably wrap this up.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
I still want to say, like, I think out of all of us, like, I think I'm a bit more positive about this movie, but it's mostly on a filmmaking basis because I
Mhm.
do really like how this movie is crafted and such.
Oh, yeah.
Story-wise, I'm not going to be arguing a lot there, but it's I just really like how this movie looks, how it feels, how it sounds. Like, the soundscape is really
Well,
damn.
Varren,
Good.
where do you think the 5 comes from? That
You got 5 on it?
The 5 out of 10. Where do you think the 5 comes from?
It's competent, at best, yeah.
Yeah, we're saying, like, yeah, it's pretty, like, everything else, everything you're saying of, like, yeah, if defending it, that's literally our half of, like, the 5.
Yeah,
Yeah.
'cause they- for the
Stop
story.
Alien 3, we're not talking about that yet. We didn't talk about that already.
You know what this movie needed? More Italians.
God damn it.
Stop
Royce,
it.
Bro, stop it! Not get the.
Stop trying to make Alien 2 on Earth happen.
Oh, it's gotta
It's
happen.
bad enough we're getting that in TV form,
Yeah.
okay?
Aaron,
Yeah.
how you doing?
God, now I'm
Please-
just remembering.
please get out of my personal space.
Jurassic Park 3, just Alan. Alan. Ah,
Sorry, my
Alan.
species doesn't know about personal space.
On that note, holy shit. Okay. I think we're ready to wrap up, guys.
Yep.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, we've
I've
said
had
all we
so
need.
Grave,
I've
we
had
ready?
so much fun with this recording.
Anything you want to add?
Nope, I'm good.
All right. So, with all of that said, Xeiren, where can people find you?
You can find me on TikTok. You can find me on Instagram. You can find me on what the Graveyard, formerly known as Twitter. You can also find me over on Threads. And you can find me every Monday driving Varren insane on his Twitch channel playing RPGs.
Excellent. Ver.
Well, as the red-haired menace says, usually you can find me on twitch.tv/VarrenKimball, where every Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 8 p.m. Central European Time, you can see me play all kinds of fun games. Mondays RPGs with this one right here. Wednesdays strategy shooter, something else with an S. And Fridays I play whatever the hell I can find. You can also find me over on Blue Sky at Varren Kimbold. You can also find me over on YouTube at Varren Kimbold for VODs and compilations of my streams, although compilations have been a little of less of late because I don't have the time to edit at the moment.
Fair enough.
If you want to indulge in my OC content that I do every now and then, you can find it over on TikTok at Varren Kimbold. And I also still have a Twitter around, but do be warned that I just do whatever the fuck I want on there.
Excellent. Grave, where's the turtle today?
I'm hot gluing a chest burster into an unrelated sci-fi movie.
All right.
Hello, my baby. Hello, my honey. Hello, my frag time girl.
Oh no, not again.
Pass.
Hi. Hold on. I think I need to.
Yeah, come back here. We're good.
Come back to your regular
There
self.
you go.
Vote.
Come back to us, Paz. Come back to us.
Follow the
Pass-
line.
I had a dream about being smothered. Then I woke up and my cat was on my face. Anyway, you can find me on Twitch and on YouTube channel at pass_the_remote. You'll find me. Sometimes I do gaming. Sometimes I just will watch weird things and just shoot the shit with Ookami. And also, you'll also find me on Twitter, just shit posting and taking nothing seriously because it's Twitter, and Twitter is dumb. Thanks, Elon. You broke it. Hope that $45 billion is fucking worth it.
Fair enough.
54, actually.
That's even more. That got even dumber. I didn't. Huh. By the way, Pass is the Xeno Jerry of the group, by the way. I have now learned of this character.
The what?
The Xenomorph Synthetic.
Oh,
From the comics. Jerry.
Yeah,
Jerry.
Jerry.
Jerry! Jerry's so badass! He smokes a cigar!
I need to read those at some point, but like, yeah, I also saw Jerry recently. It's like, oh well, fuck me. I need to get on this shit.
Sorry, when I heard Jerry, I keep thinking of Jerry from Rick and Morty.
No.
He's not badass.
No, it's a good thing. This fucking guy, like, he is such a. He pours wine. He's really cool. He smokes a cigar, and killed one of his because he's like, oh well, he's like, yeah, I'm malfunctioning.
He's Gray from Jetman.
Yeah. He's like, I'm malfunctioning. Like, I'm sorry. The prime directive part in my brain is malfunctioning. I can't follow it. But I recognize an asshole when I see one.
Honestly, I just thought Seinfeld. So all I can mention is, what's the deal with these xenomorphs?
Jesus Christ. Roy.
You can find me here on Wolfstand Productions. If not here, I'm linked on the Murder Party. You can find us at the Starlight Podcast for rare, obscure, and hard to find horror. You can also find us at the upcoming Red Light. Your home videos are horror. You can find us. You got some love mail, some hate mail, some ancient alien mail, some David mail, some engineer mail, some really cool Prometheus mail, some alien origin mail. Send it to Starlight Podcast at protonmail.com. You can also check me and Doc out over at criticlist.com. We write reviews, do lists. We have fun stuff going on over there. It's your alternative to Rotten Tomatoes if you want to check it out. Go ahead. We also have a Twitter account. Yeah, the Zitter account. It's at capital R, capital L, capital P, capital S, Starlight. Yes, send them some recommendations, some commendations, and just say hi. We'd love to hear from you. Doctor.
And if I'm not here on Wolfstand Productions, you can also find us at, of course, the Red Light, the Starlight, but also at the Over the Years podcast, where I take Roy through a decade plus of rap music and wonder if it's really worth the listen. And as well as Roy mentioned, you can find me at Criticalist at Chaos Doctor, where we do things. I do things like the Starlight Mini, make a couple lists, and I have also reviewed some unfortunate sci-fi about ancient aliens.
You'll never
Fucking
let it
Roland
go.
Emmerich.
You'll never let it go.
And it's not gonna let it go.
You can, of course, find me here on YouTube and Podbean with Wolfson Productions. From goofy-ass anime to the shocking horror, Wolfson Productions, your #1 stop for equally nerdy reviews of nerdy media. You can also find me over on Twitter under the Mistress, Ookami. That's right, Mistress Ookami. That's my name. Don't wear it out. And finally, if you're feeling extra generous, head on over to the Wolfson Patreon, where you can get access to episodes that may or may not drop to the general public.
Use your words.
What's that? What was that?
I don't know. They may not drop to the general public. Episodes that most certainly will not be dropping to the general public. Behind the scenes, all sorts of goodies. All for just a measly $1 a month. Remember, folks, your $1 a month, they can go a long, long way. Until next time, God, wait, 5 fucking years later, we'll get another entry.
Yes, we get another entry. You get to see what Dr. Shaw and David have been up to.
Yay.
Totally.
Come on, more enthusiasm. Yay.
It's 27.
It's hard to be more enthusiastic with the gun in my mouth.
Yeah, it's 2017.
Spoiler alert. Alien
ahead.
Covenant.
Yeah.
No, I was gonna say spoiler alert. We're going from a 5 out of 10 to about a 2 out of 10.
Wow, that
Wow, that's
generous.
generous.
Wow.
Yeah.
Am I wrong?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Ow. Ow.
I have a sore throat. Is that all right?
Here, have some black goo to fix it.
Nom 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 nom.